When you're talking about a specific, medical diagnosis or a specific disease is very targeted, and it's without the understanding that there are many other things at play. So many other things at play when it comes to healthcare related issues, but many things at play in just this person's life in their totality. And so as you're talking about, diabetes, there's also a need to have a conversation about food access, about proper places to store that food. If you need to store food, then there's a need for a conversation about electricity, utility, and so those things that are also at play that affects this provider's conversation around that very specific disease. And so I think those are the things that are very important to include when you're talking to folks in this space. Yeah, and I mean that's a part of like the conversation, right? That's a part of understanding the individual, and so obviously that's not a conversation that you just jump right into. It starts with just first understanding like who is this person, like who are you, right? What makes you happy? What makes you tick? What makes you feel like today is worth getting up and going throughout interactions and engaging people. And so I think for us, that's where our model starts. Just really trying to understand, the person and who they are. And then from that point, being able to have some of those more nuanced conversations that might touch on more sensitive issues. So we do educate in terms of, these are the individuals that you might see, from our team. These are the individuals in your, healthcare network. But I think the majority of it isn't necessarily education. Like people feel it. So it's through that interaction. It's through that, taking an interest in people. It's through that, not only taking an interest in them, but perhaps their family, their children, and trying to understand their broader network. Like people are more receptive to then being willing to not just receive information, but also willing to engage and willing to make change because they feel like, you're in this with me. You're just not telling me what to do. You're just not giving me, educational tips or feedback, but you're really interested in who I am. And so how can we really partner together so that we can both make progress?